That's some 36 people in here already. Oh my God. Well, I should have known it would be a little bit busier today with what's happened in the market. We'll go over all of this and more in just a second here, as I just wanted to pull everything up on my phone so that I could get to all the comments, because I'm assuming if there's this many people here already, it's going to be a pretty busy night tonight. So, welcome in everybody, Miss Vicky, Disco, and Andre, Craig, Mr. Sean Crothers, Hamza, KK Chat, Jacob, Olga, welcome in, love, Nunya, Madison. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Mohammed, I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Jan, welcome in, love. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Make sure to hit that like button, as everybody is doing a phenomenal job. Crypto Bob, welcome in. Colin, why did Elon dump again? We don't really know why he dumped. We can speculate that he's going to try to buy into altcoins instead of Bitcoin, because he can see it's run its course. Richard, welcome in. Good evening. XRP, NLCLT, good evening. The Gatman, sunny days ahead, Tom, indeed. Donald, hello, Tom. Wow, yes, these are the days. These are the days. Why I always say you got to be emotionless in crypto. Disco, welcome in. 1970 legend, Go Bucks is in the house. Oh, Johnson, thank you so much for the transparency and teaching us. Well, right now, Russell, welcome in. Good evening. So, as we can see right now, the XRP market cap is down 4.31 billion, or down 13.88%. Disco, he needs to buy into XRP. I know. I like to speculate that. Well, he changed, Twitter to X. Now he's selling out of Bitcoin. That would be the dream scenario, by the way. Hamza, good evening. Russ, JS, welcome in. No problem. I like doing the hard work. I like being here a lot. Jay, I do my best to keep you informed. Thank you so much for that. Albert, good evening. Good time to buy. That is always up to you. Dollar costing average is the way to go. If you're not in, this was a great moment to buy. Tom M, good evening. JW, welcome in, my friend. Hopefully you're having a blessed day. Charlie, welcome in. Long time. JS, welcome in. Nobody puts in work like this guy. Well, some would say nobody's wrong more than I am. But, that's up for some to say and some to interpret. Messi, what happened to the weekly Golden Cross? Nothing. I'll show you it. It has not been invalidated yet. I'm buying one Ruffercon. Hell yeah. Messi, good evening. I'll let you know about that. The Golden Cross. Alex Cobb is streaming, so we continue to dump until he falls asleep. Yep, basically. I mean, I don't watch him, but I'm not gonna say anything about anybody else, because I like positivity over negativity, and we're speaking of a bigger issue and not about the entity, so to say. Yes, Matt, dollar cost average is the way. I totally agree with that. White Tiger, welcome in. Bandito, good evening. Bought the dip, good job. Everybody, if you're just buying this for the first time, make sure you have it set up for buys 20% below every single purchase. So if your average is 50 cents right now, 20% below. If you're at 46%, 20% below. Right now I'm at 346, 20% below. In the accumulation phase, I don't sell, because I don't worry about the up and down. If it was outside of a year, I probably would have sold, because then my tax bracket would have only been 15%. But at 35%, I like to do the accumulation. So, we're still in the bear market here. We haven't broke out of the bear market, so we're still accumulating. It's a big difference from holding from a bull market to a bear market rally. You got to buy before the rallies. That's why when everybody asked me when to buy, I said if you're going to buy in the first area, it'd be 58, but that's still not comfortable. You got to buy in when you have huge dumps, when the rally ceases to exist. This would have been a good time. I think it went down to 44 cents here. But here, let me just finish going through this real quick. Disco, Tom, I refer a lot of people to your TA, man. I've seen you be right way more than you've been wrong. I appreciate that. But see, that's the thing, I don't try to be right or wrong. I'm just trying to give the perspective of the daily workings, and then the longer term, what I think is going to happen towards 2025 and ultimately 2028. Earlier, a lot of people I liked the update earlier. I said I'm 100% certain that we've turned into a falling wedge pattern because of what was happening, and I thought there would be a bullish reversal. Well, we anticipated a bullish reversal at 54 cents, That's where we thought was the best chance to break that and not have this parabolic fall, like this huge fall. Some people were saying I said it was 100% guaranteed to go up, which always mind boggles me, because if you just listen to what I was saying, it's about the falling wedge. It was the first time I was certain, because we actually rejected 58 cents. Now, with that being said, 54 cents broke through, or 54 and a half got rejected at 54, and now we are where we are. Because once that falling wedge got resisted on, we had to have the break dump, the big dump. If you're not going to break out, you have to have the liquidity flush. And we were looking for liquidity. It was just, I didn't think it would go this far. I thought first, and you know what? We're not wrong. If everybody who was saying when it goes in the ascending pattern, it could fall back in there, we weren't wrong. We just overran it big time. They really went for liquidity all the way down to 43 cents. Think about that. Oh, 1970, I believe it is. Because look what happens here. This is where it gets spicy, folks. Was that a bear flag or is it a bull flag? These are the ones that really trick you, because we now technically never fell outside of the ascending pattern. Remember what my fear was? If we came down to 55 cents or 54 and a half, that it likely would fall back into here. And it made me very afraid. I thought if we had the best chance to reverse, it was at 58 cents. But we knew it was a 6% drop down here. It made us nervous, but that's where we're at right now. So I was hoping for a 70% reversal from here. And it's still not out of the question if you could get back up here, but this formation's completely different. Now, this whole thing is invalidated. This, what we were seeing earlier with this falling wedge, let me rephrase this. It's not out of the question. It is for that formation. That's invalidated. This move, that is invalidated in the current structure. That doesn't mean it can't go up there, but that's invalidated. We broke the falling wedge, unless in this daily, which we failed to do, we could come back up in here. I suppose I've seen stranger things, and I suppose possibly we could come up here back into the falling wedge. But to me, we would have to say that's invalidated, and unless we can get back up within it, you could get a firm rejection at 546. You could get a firm rejection at the falling wedge now, like 56. I don't know. That doesn't look all that promising until you see what just happened, this pull up. Now, wow, that's a big, that is a big donation. This audience never ceases to amaze me. I never expect to get a donation, like, especially one like this, when we're dumping. Like this one, this is a crazy one. Russell, Tommy the man, looking forward to the bull market. That's where champions are made. I want to see all of us in this community cross the finish line, live in prosperity. Good times are ahead. Stay positive, everyone. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that greatly. $100 donation. That's incredible. I mean, thank you so much. Really, that's awesome. I don't even know what to say. I do know one thing to say. 144 people watching, only 64 likes. I get it. I get it that XRP's down. I get it. But if you want more of your peers like you to come in here and see what I do, you're going to have to hit that like button. YouTube doesn't like to push my content as it is. Don't give them a reason not to. Just hit that like button. It's free. You don't have to send a YouTube super chat. Russell has paid it forward for everybody tonight. I mean, you can always pay it forward if you want to send a YouTube super chat and don't want to use the like button, but I highly encourage you to hit the like button. I really do. 90 likes now. Now we're doing a little bit better. But Russell, that's incredible. Thank you so much. Let me try to catch up to some of these comments, because we got a lot to talk about tonight, as we can see. And like Russell said, stay positive. Just bought 850 more of XRP. Hopefully you got it with that big wick down, Colin, or well, anywhere still. It's still down a significant position. Jay, welcome in. Well, Jay's already been here, but he says, wow, exactly. Bye, baby, bye. Yes, Fletcher. KLC don't care where it goes. I'm holding. Indeed. Russell is the man, Jay. I agree. Blossom, yes, Miss Vicky. Yes, indeed. Charlie, do I think this is the bullish reversal, or do we have a further move down? We can't possibly answer that yet, Charlie. We have to let the chart play out. What I will tell you is our first step. This was a good step to get back up here. Hold on, it's been raining here, and I think a little bit of mist like hit my screen. So we have to have, let me pull this out into a bigger time frame. It is interesting though. It is interesting how much it pulled up. But we would have to get back above if this is a reversal. First to 54.5 cents. And then get back into this falling wedge and get to the top side. And make this just like, let's have a V-shaped recovery here. I'm not even talking about a W reversal. I'm talking about the SEC approved the Ethereum ETF. Is that true? SEC ETF. How can that fucking be? Are you kidding me? Come on. With all the stuff going on, I mean, this just shows you the corruption. We have the evidence with Hinman, and they're still going after XRP, remember. The judge just gave him the ability today, Annalisa Torres. And they approved the ETF. I mean, this is criminal. This is actually criminal. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. That's why I said, don't let them shake you out. There's something big going on. Look at this. SEC poised to approve Ether Futures ETF as soon as October. And remember, we had the official document where it showed Vitalik Buterin was in on all of this. And he got special. Man, this is exactly what I would expect. This is exactly what I would expect. Especially when they grant the okay, Judge Annalisa Torres grants the okay. No, I don't think anything's ever going to happen to Ethereum. That's why I told everybody, if you don't want to buy an altcoin, don't buy Bitcoin. Ethereum's where you got to go. But I wouldn't buy, I don't like Ethereum. So for anybody who likes Ethereum, I'm sorry. So let's see. SEC poised to approve Ethereum futures ETFs as soon as October report. I'm going to hit play here. And you know what? We'll go right back to XRP, but of course. Of course.
ETFs as soon as October, report. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, will reportedly look to approve the first exchange-traded funds, ETF, based on Ether futures. According to an August 17th report from Bloomberg, which cited anonymous sources familiar with the matter, the regulator does not look as though it will block the applications of nearly 12 companies including ProShares, Volatility Shares, Bitwise and Roundhill who have filed to launch Ether, ETH, futures ETF.
So what the hell are we talking about with the XRP lawsuit continuing and all these motions? See, today wasn't bad though, everybody. See, that's the thing. Annalisa Torres doing this, this is what you want to have so that there can't be any kind of appeal if it gets rejected. This is what we want to see. This was a nothing burger today. It should have been fun and good news today with XRP, just because now everything's on the table. That's why the investment banker was allowed to speak as well, because now everything's out there and the ruling will be final. There won't be any overturned on no nonsense. This though, this just tells you where we're going. This tells you the truth. It's all a smokescreen. It really is.
ETFs in recent weeks. Breaking: the SEC is expected to greenlight an ETH futures at the beginning of something potentially massive here. pic.twitter.com/x9kt K. Bankless, at Bankless HQ, August 17, 2023. The report added that it remains unclear which ETF applications would be approved by the SEC. However, officials indicated that several of the filings may be approved by as soon as October. This is a developing story, and further information will be added as it becomes available.
Do you see what's happening here? This could have just been the biggest transfer of wealth. Just going under our noses. All of retail, look at Bybit. You know how they always push Bybit on YouTube? I never understand it. You got to use a VPN in the USA, but yet everybody's always pushing Bybit. Bybit went down to 34 cents if you're a futures trader. I mean, come on. That's why I say don't leverage trade. Don't leverage your future of XRP. Don't leverage your tokens. That's the easiest way to get liquidated. On every exchange, I mean, oh my. Sometimes. No, Charlie. Charlie, no. I know the AI voice sucks, but I needed a break. I needed to get a drink of water because I've been talking a lot. I talk a lot. You know, sometimes I understand the AI is killing you. It's killing me too to hear it. But just think for a second. It gives me a break. I got to take a sip of water. So now we don't have to take a break at all. See, I don't do any paid promotions or advertisements or sponsorships on this channel of any kind. So I don't get a break. You know, I never take a break. I don't cut in, you know, and do all that good stuff. So that's what I'm saying. When you do leverage trading, though, that's the easiest way to get liquidated. Easiest. Now we're at 8 o'clock. We close over 50 cents at least. So at least we didn't give up the 50-cent psychological level on the daily close besides anything other than a wick. XRP, the market cap, on the other hand, remember our last-ditch support. Back in the ascending triangle. We knew we were coming down here. If it broke this, we had to come up here. Well, we had an overzealous sell-off all the way down to 23.2 billion. What do we make of this right now? When you go from 23.28 billion and in less than 2 hours, you add on over $3.5 billion of the market cap, that is not by accident. It's not by accident. What, all of a sudden everybody just dumped off and $3.5 billion just showed up? Hey, everybody, I know we just dumped off fucking $7 billion, but here's $3.5 billion money out of thin air. Like, that's where you have to look at the optics here. And not just that. Look at the sell volume. Look at the, not sell volume, but look at the money flow in the crypto market cap. What you would expect with that big of a dump off? Where's the money? Where's the money? When it propped itself up with the market cap, I mean, this is what you talk about with manipulation. This is why I don't think there's any way you could ever leverage trade this kind of a market. You can try, but nobody, and I mean nobody, it doesn't matter who you are, over a long term, just like in the casino, you can say whatever you want, you can say it however you want, you can spin it however you want to yourself. Over the long term, the casino doesn't lose, and the casino, in this case, is the crypto exchange. They don't lose with leverage trading. That is how they secretly fund their operations. That's secretly how they can pay you APR on your tokens if they offer staking from all the schlubs, and I don't mean this in a bad way because I used to be a schlub, would get liquidated through their positions on futures trading. I also did very well futures trading, but that still was a gambling-like feeling. So now look at this. 709, and then not just that, you're always looking for the short-term move. You never understand the full picture. Now, because we're not worried here, watch this. 709 million on this 2-hour candle. This is the market cap on the way up. 709 million in that 2 hour. 709. See how consistent? Very consistent. Now what happens here? We consolidate 10.45 billion. A lot of money change in hand there. Billions. That's billions with a B. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. 10 billion when we were here. See the push up though, there was nothing. So you had a lot of money changing hands, yeah, like we were saying. Now you start this consolidation, and you see how the volume's breaking. Now, notice how we get all the way over here, and we're going from 10 billion all the way down. Now, what the hell happened here? What happened? If we had this big of a dump, where the hell's the money? You'd expect to see a much bigger. So, well, that's because on KuCoin, everybody on KuCoin, I tried to warn of this long ago. KuCoin now, starting at the end of this month, August 31st, you are not allowed to use their app if you don't do KYC, which includes giving them your license or your identification card and facial identification. You can't just give them your ID. You have to do facial identification with KuCoin. Otherwise, you are not allowed. So if you have things on there and you don't want to give up your facial identification or you're not interested in KYC, make sure you're off of there before August 31st, FYI. They announced this earlier today. I'll do an update on my channel later. My thing is, how did Elon know to sell? Because just like George Carlin said a long time, they're all in on it. Me and you aren't in, or we weren't invited to the club, but they're all in on it. Don't kid yourself. They are all in on it. We're just not invited. That's why we have to do this from the down low. We have to have communities like this. Yes, Jay, it's a big club and we aren't in it. Exactly. God rest George Carlin's soul, which we all know how he likely met his end as well. Spoke too much. Nope. Exactly. I'll let you guys say it for me. I can't say the danger words. So with the market cap here, look at this in a smaller term here. How many people are in here for it to be pushing like this? I really thought like tonight would be where everybody might hide out. 205 people. I really appreciate that show of support, everybody. Wow. Wow. The highest we ever gotten here is 327, but we very seldomly have gotten into the 200s. Make sure you hit that like button, as we have 141 likes, 206 people watching right now. The more you hit that like button, the more we can help get our peers like you and I in here that actually give a damn about each other. That's the difference. So now look at this in the half hour. Seriously, look at this in a, yeah, I know Elon Musk is, absolutely. SH, welcome in. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Hey, Mana, welcome in. Tone, it's going to crash a lot more if the NASDAQ dumps. Yeah, there's usually a pretty big correlation there. But now, what are we looking at here, everybody, in the short term? Because now there's indecisiveness. Just for teaching purposes, everybody. Just for teaching purposes. This candle, ready? We're going to learn here something right now. We're going to learn the dojis with each other real quick. What is this? What kind of doji is this right now that we're on? Mind you, we had a downtrend. This. What is this? And what is this? This is indecisiveness. Oh, sorry. I didn't just say that. What kind of doji is it, everybody? And this is how I do it. Everybody always asks if I have material that I sell. No, I do not. This is the only way to learn. I don't charge for anything. Everybody always gets mad at me because I don't charge. And everybody gets mad because I don't like have the classes or whatever. I prefer to just teach in real time. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a dragonfly to me. I was thinking more a long leg. What? I don't know. It's close. That's a tough one. I kind of feel it's more like a long leg doji. It's impartial. But I don't know. It seems like it's more even on both sides. Although there is more top heavy here. Oh, you guys got me thinking now. I was thinking a long leg doji. Inverted long leg. I like that. I like that. Neutral doji. Yes, I agree. Neutral would be a long leg doji for anybody who doesn't know. So that means in here, it's indecisive, this move. So see how we went red? Again, this was an indecisive candle. This looked like a long leg doji here. Next candle determines things. But then again, it had it and it became indecisive again here for the market cap. Which means there's not a lot of sellers here if we get a bullish candle on this next push. That would allow us room, if this happens, to come up to about 28.5 billion. Maybe even while we're on the air here because it's in the 30-minute cycles. So that's why we ask ourselves, what is really going on here? We had a huge dump down here. Wants you to think it's a bear flag, but then it sets up a bull flag. Like, you can't make this up. I certainly can't. I'm not smart enough. So let me see what everybody's saying. True, I'll go with that. There we go. I appreciate that. Crypto Bob, you think... What did you say? Where's this at? I was just reading it and then it went down. Crypto Bob. Where the heck is Crypto Bob? You think you're indecisive, but you're not sure. Exactly. Let's show Tom's brother some love at this channel. He called the 30% plus days ago. Yes, but that gets overshadowed. I don't talk about that. See, everybody only talks about... I don't even want to talk about it. But yes, we talked about this exact scenario where we'd have to come down here. It's just, we were hoping it wouldn't do this. We were also talking about how possibly, if we could hold that falling wedge, which it failed miserably, that we could possibly have a 70% bullish reversal back to the top, because that's what could happen. That's why when it's 50-50, it was really 50-50, and it was either going to go up 70 or down 30 or 35 or whatever it was at from the top, where we were just at. Now, remember what we said. And this is what somebody could be referring to. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If I haven't scared you away yet, you're going to want to hear this. We talked about, in the history of XRP, and this is what I know you're referring to, we've had 3 weekly golden crosses. One we had to speculate here and do it in the daily because it doesn't go far enough back, but this is where it would have happened. 2, 3. In each of the first 2 instances, we had a 60% correction. So we marked out where it could possibly be from the top. So that's where we said, are we going to come all the way down? And we always do that in the live because we like to speculate. 60% crash. That's how we got to the 2020 uptrend. So are we close enough by coming to here? Is 54% close enough? Or are we coming to the 2020 uptrend, which conveniently, or the 2021 uptrend, it's conveniently, and this is what everybody needs to remember. Yes, we have the short-term falling wedge. This is the overall pattern, and we could go all the way back to here. We could go all the way back to here, but there's no, oh, what the hell? We could go all the way back to the earlier day, but there's no point. So this being the all-time pattern here on the downtrend, the uptrend is perfect. The downtrend, we never broke out, ladies and gentlemen. XRP never officially broke out. That's why we needed to hold the falling wedge so we could start to have some movement and get out of here. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, $1.40 resistance. Another high, lower high, $1.34. Another lower high formation at 82 cents. Yes, we had a wick, but it proved bearish. And this used the resistance. So this pattern never broke out. So this is where I estimated before all the move was going to happen. It doesn't have to wait, and I've always said this. We don't have to wait until August of 24. But if this pattern fills out and it plays true, don't you like to know the apex point just in case it does dick us around here for a while? That doesn't mean it doesn't bounce way up to $1.13 and come way back down. Or that doesn't mean it doesn't do this and you get some volatile moves like now. Let's say it goes to 37 or how it went to 43. Now all of a sudden we could be sitting here tomorrow, and this is how crazy it would be. Everybody who's calling XRP a pile of horse shit right now, or horse maneuver, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be better with my language because as I've learned, a lot of people with their kids watching. So I've definitely, so watch. 44 cents. Let's say we just come back. Oh my God, 71% move. Everybody flips out. It moves 71%. It's unbelievable. XRP, the bears or the bulls are back. It's over. We're going to all-time highs. $25,000 next week. It's over. It's over. It's too late. You're never going to see it this cheap again. But really, what did it do? It went from support to resistance. I mean, that's it. That's all we're doing. Now, granted, we didn't come down all the way. But that's because we weren't meant to yet. Before we come down to the 2020 uptrend, it would behoove us, and I really like that word if you're new, it would behoove us when you break this ascending triangle pattern and then break a falling wedge pattern in the short term, the ascending triangle in the longer term. First, you had to see how bearish you were. Got back over 49 cents. That was our first test. Now you really are going to see how bearish we are. We have to have a return rally likely, assuming we can reclaim, and this is, pay attention here, see the weekly? We have to reclaim here very quickly the 512, which is the 200-day. If we hit resistance here, now we're in trouble. Because now we could invalidate the golden cross. You can't invalidate the golden cross on this weekly candle, even if you went to 2 cents yet, until you get to Sunday. You've got all the way down to Sunday to get back over this area. You don't even need to get all the way back up. You just need to get back up in a reasonable area and just get back above 514 at minimum. But right now, everybody's getting confused, and I keep saying it's a shakeout because that's exactly what this is right now. Standard operating procedure. Look at the volume. Look at what's going on in the market cap. Look at the news that's coming out. So, if we get over 5-1... Oh, somebody said we're over 512. Good. See, this is why I like to have the comments. We are over 512. 514. Interesting. Interesting. So right now our key is to hold this. It's like 512. I know it's a little lower, but I targeted 512 for a reason. I know it's a little bit below that. Don't kill me. But 512 is my number. I like it because it gets like the overrun. And then if you back test it here, I guess if you hold 51 cents here, that's good. But now we got to try to come up here to where it actually broke down. Remember the hold point of the falling wedge. This is where we could really teach people a lesson if it really does this. If it really does this, and let's just say for educational purposes, this is where you could teach people a lesson. This falling wedge in the weekly, it would not be anything other than a wick in the weekly right now. if it were to come back up into the wedge, and let's say we got back over 54.5, 54.5. I like 54.5. If it got back over there, this could show you exactly how you fake out here. The volume is non-existent. For a big crash like this, for all the volume we put in, 518 million in the weekly when this 94% pump happened. Remember, I preface this, we bring a lot of knowledge in this community, so if you're new, you're going to learn a lot. You might have to watch this again. But what ends up happening is, on this push up, when we went up 94% on the week of July 10th, 518 million. The average volume in the weekly on the push up, when we moved up, was over 5 billion in the 2021 bull run. That means this volume was only 10%. That means it's only 10%. So we have to keep it in perspective. No, there's not as much volume coming in the crypto market, but XRP during this time had more of the crypto market cap at about a 21% clip for a 3-week period. Bitcoin at a 20% clip. XRP owned the top share of the crypto market cap for a 3-week period. So you can put that for what it's worth, but imagine if we end up having a lot more coming in. You know, if XRP, you always want to be behind something that can push the emotions, because when you have a high time of volatility, there's going to be people there to buy. You're always going to have retail. We don't have to worry about that with XRP. So now you look at the weekly volume here again. So remember, 10% of the volume. I just want to preface that with everybody who says this is just like the 2021 bull run. I see it all the time on social media or YouTube, yada, yada, yada. Just, I want you to educate yourself. If they ever say that to you, just know, I don't have to go back because I've already done this a billion times. I know what I'm talking about. You can go back to 2021. Fine. We'll go back just so I don't look like an idiot for anybody who's new. One time. $4.286 billion there, 3.6. This one was 5.2. Okay, so we'll say 4. All right, fine. 4.28 billion on these push-ups here. 500 million. So remember that. So the volume is not 1-to-1 here. Billions compared to hundreds of millions. That's a big difference. So now our volume starts to shake off a little bit here. We've got the 312 million, 166, 166.6 by the way, which is always Then we had about 160, 122. This week we're already going to exceed what we had the last couple weeks. We've got 140. What is this right now? 146 million. But how much of this is part of the pull up and how much of this is going to be continuation? We don't know that yet. That's a big pull up on the daily candle. Can still be a very bearish candle. That's a nice start. It's a nice start. But you see how this volume, that's a lot of pull up volume there too. So now we go back to the 30-minute and let's continue our conversation, everybody. Because I believe it's very important. I believe this is a long leg doji, so we're going to have to wait until this candle's over. That's why I went through the whole spew. I'm trying to kill this time. For anybody who's new, I try to kill time just by talking about relevant stuff. I think this is a long leg doji right now. Although it's not exactly. It's pretty close. It's supposed to be even, though. It's supposed to be more like this. I think it's still an it could be an inverted long leg doji, like somebody said. It really could. Donkey punch doji. Somebody did say that. I can't. I like that. I like that. But this is indecisiveness here, ladies and gentlemen, leaning towards the more buyers than sellers possibly here. So we'll see. But we don't know yet. This is a neutral 30-minute candle. This was in a bearish cycle. Right here was neutral. But we followed up by a bearish candle. And again, we couldn't push farther. Now we're back to another neutral candle. This possibly could have been a liquidity grab. I know it's a small one. To push up and try to retest this area up here. As long as we stay on top of 512, 51 cents to be approximate, we should be able to push back up and retest this broken formation. Like I said, it would behoove us to not prove bearish here. This is where a lot of people get in trouble, where they sell on the bottom of a big dump. And look at this. Even if let's just say you bought it at 58 cents. You bought it. A lot of people were like, I'm out. I'm selling it. It's down 26%. I'm done. Not realizing that if they just waited for the retracement, they could get out with about a 6.6% loss almost every single time, even if there's a continuation. This is the biggest kept secret, I think, when people are trying to swing trade. If you miss a trade, don't sell the big dump. Wait it out if you're spot trading, because you're always going to have this return kick up. It's a trading bot. There's trading bots. So being said like that, you need to, you can understand it. So 266 people in here. Thank you so much, everybody. I greatly appreciate you. Make sure to hit the like button. 187 likes. I think we can do a little bit better than that. Like I always say to my audience, unless you want to send a YouTube super chat, or I'd always love to see more people in Tom's army. But really, all you have to do is hit that like button. Let's see if we can get over 200 likes here real quick. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get over 200 likes. Yeah, I think that would be a good number. So that's what we're seeing with XRP. So how does that relate with the total crypto, or the market cap of XRP? The market cap of XRP, we'll be looking at the reverse rally here as we're in the same formation. It's going to look exactly the same. We should be able to test this, what looks like a little bit of a channel that's formed here, but it's not really a channel. But it's 28.5 billion, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we should be retesting. Unless, we got rejected in the weekly volume. I don't think we're going to, though, here yet, because we already came way up. See, technically, we hold the weekly support here. That's all you want to do. We have the golden cross, but now you're going to come up, and it would behoove us not to test that 28.6 billion. Isn't it funny how that works? Isn't it funny how all this actually works? Everybody gets nervous. Everybody gets shaken out. And now everybody's probably sitting there like, wait a minute. Wasn't XRP just at 43 cents an hour ago? Why is it back at 51 cents? And if they sold out, they're like, this is bull crap. I'm not trading this crap. And just like with XLM when we talked, we had the 12.5 for the first layer of support, which it touched. But what did I say and continue to say? I think we have to come back down and retest the ascending triangle breakout. It always behooves us not to retest these areas. It really does. Because this is just an overextended bear flag. Look at this. And we've talked about this if you're a fan of XLM. And I do bounce around on. I like, if you're new, the ISO 20022 tokens. I also like the Internet of Things tokens. But I believe if you own XRP, you have to own XRP, XLM, and XDC in equal weight. So this is a major bear flag. Big one. If broke out, you always retest. I mean, look how big that is. You always retest this. I mean, it always happens. So now we're retesting it. Now if we can come back up, we're going to look for a rejection at 12.5 or get back on it to show support for XLM. That is how it's likely going to work here. If you bring it down into a smaller time frame, it'll likely, it's a little bit lower. What is that? 11.89. So first layer is 11.89. You get over that, you're going to try to see if you have any support there. But I was wrong. I was wrong. This needs to be updated. You had a wick down. This invalidated my number. I should have updated this. Well, no. I like updating it with everybody. That 12.5 is still a pivot level, but we have a more immediate level now. We have a more immediate level because we had a wick down. Now, if you get rejected there, that's very bearish. So we have to make sure our technical analysis is lining up. I didn't even update that because we're on the live. And this has been kind of in a falling... Ooh, this is interesting. Yeah, XLM needs to get above 11.83 or you could have a further correction here. And it's volatile. It's volatile. This is indecisive candle movements here. So as much as I love XLM, we got to focus on XRP. Somebody said algo, which algo, remember why we started buying on Winning Wednesdays, everybody? What formation? When did we not buy? We bought H-bar we bought H-bar on FOMO Fridays instead of algo on the end of May because we didn't want to get caught in this formation. Where was it at? Right over here. We didn't want to buy up here at 22 cents. April, May, or 18 to 20 cents, somewhere in here. And we started buying H-bar. We came down and I said I wanted to buy it in this descending formation when it got farther down. Now we have a chore here. We have to do $75 a week every Wednesday, and we've got just over 3,000 tokens right now until this formation either ends or we have to get to 10,000 tokens, which is the goal. But as long as it's coming down in the descending fashion, we're going to increase our tokens every single week. Same thing we did with H-bar. Algo's fine. Algo was way overvalued in 2021 and 2022, like I said. And I said you could get very cheap numbers. I got laughed off stage left, but now they're happening. It's okay. Every number that I said for everything I was able to buy at. Let's just preface it with that so far in the bear market. Some of them are even lower than where I said, and I said worst case scenario there's lower numbers, but we've already hit low enough numbers to where we could start our accumulation phase. It's hard to buy everything at one time, especially if you're not a millionaire. You know, that's the point. You come up in crypto. That's why my station, I have like a $5,000 investment because I thought that that was more reasonable as well. But now we also do $125 a week now together. And we find the ones like Algo that's 97% down from its high now. Just like Casper right now that we're buying right now. We're trying to find the ones that are cheap right now in comparison to their bull run to bear market. Percent better. All right, got to run. Big day tomorrow. Bless all. Hey, have a good one and keep a good mindset for tomorrow. God bless you, my friend, and hopefully, God willing, it'll flow smoothly for you. Some YouTuber was telling people to apply for credits and default on their payments. I mean, there's so many people that are giving up that information and telling people to not pay their mortgages and all this other stuff. Don't do that. Good way to lose your house. You think the government's just going to cancel debt when our system is debt-based? You think maybe these people are paid by somebody else? You ever see when most of these people you watch, it says paid sponsorship? I think a lot of you, because a lot of you tell me YouTubers' names, I'm being honest, but they always have paid sponsorship. So, I mean, that's a big red flag. If they have a paid sponsorship, you might not want to listen. But yeah, that's ridiculous is what it is. Yes, it is, Ashley. Yes, it is. Hold on, let me get my phone back out because the comments are obviously moving fast tonight. I know we got through the nitty gritty, so most people will leave now, but that's okay. The only bad thing is that I get paid in a couple hours and all my bills are paid. Yep, true. That's a good thing to have. That's a good problem. 1970 Legend Crypto Hawk has 0 sponsors. Somebody always talks about Crypto Hawk in here. I always say I like Crypto Hawk. I just, I know what happened in 2021 and I'm just going to leave it at that. I also know I'm not talking anymore. I like Crypto Hawk. Positivity over, smell that, that's positivity in the air. Crypto Hawk gives out great information. I just know what happened from nope, can't go down that road. Great information. He does give good information. Oh, I get that, true. There was just an issue in 2021 with somebody, a lady, and he really messed her up a little bit on his stream. Somebody who ended up coming to my community after, and I just happened to be in there when it happened, and that was the last stream I ever watched. So it was kind of one of those things, you know, so that's all I'm saying. So XRP, and he was drunk too, so I mean, it makes sense. So if you have cannabis, it's legal where I live. Make sure that cannabis, light it up if you got it. So let's see. We have up here at 544. Yeah, and I like them, like I've said. It's just, you know, you gotta know what you're getting into. You know, very hardcore. A lot of good information though. There's a lot of good information there. Especially when it comes to like the ISO implementation. Some of his information's backdated, which it is what it is. Everybody has old information we're trying to share, so you can't hold that against anybody. But if you're trying to find stuff, there's definitely there's stuff to be found there. So if you're looking for news, when it comes to where to buy and where to sell, that's a different story. No, actually, I'm not. I'm being nice. We have 248 people, Julie. Nope. I am being nice, I promise, Julie. 248 people watching me be nice. I know, Julie said she would kick my butt if I'm bad. Well, ATK, I think that's pretty obvious, but, you know, that is what it is. Nonetheless, I actually like the guy a lot. That's why I don't like to talk bad at all. I really do. I like to root him. I root him on. I do. I root him on. He just never talks about me. His audience talks about me a lot. I know that because a lot of his audience from here found me. And now they go back and say stuff. I wish he would just talk about me one time. I say positive things. He can call me a douchebag, one-eyed loser. Just mention my station. Say, hey, he knows what he's doing, but he's a dick. He's not. He could even say he's not me. He goes to the gym and he's a puny guy. He don't have muscles like this. But he still knows his technical analysis. He could say that and be funny. That's what I would do. Oh, that puny XRP future millionaire. At least he knows his charts, because he sure doesn't know how to hit the weight properly. You know, he could spin it into a funny thing. You know. Yeah, see, Julie, True said I've been great. They're all saying I've been good. I told you, Julie, I'm positivity over negativity. It's a big difference. It's a big difference in 2023. Yeah, I know. I understand, Miss Vicky. Like I said, I remember 2021 with the overly bullish narrative that cost, well, we're not going to say anything more. But we know every influencer costs their audience at least 70 to 80% from the bull to bear market. This community's in a much better position because we had the foresight to sell in 2021 when XRP was $1.66 and the rest was equivalent. We had the foresight to buy. We had a 34.6 average so that we can deal with it now. We know that we don't sell inside of a year because we're not giving the government in the USA 35%, everybody. That's the problem. We're not going to give the government 35%. I'm not. Outside of a year after this accumulation phase, we'll be outside of a year. You can keep more than 20%. You only got to pay them 15. Yes, it's criminal, but would you rather keep 15 or 35? I appreciate that, Miss Vicky. And strict this, yep. People will learn it's easier to navigate with no emotion. It sure is true. And I know the cool thing about this journey, somehow I feel like I have this like, I don't even know if it's emotional, but this mental connection with True. It's so weird because he's going on the same journey. And I've seen him go from similar to where I was at with emotions and yada, 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 because we've both been dealing with the same audience for it gets a little compelling here. But I feel like I've got connections with certain people. He's definitely one of them. The bearable douche is the worst, Sean Crothers says. Well, I can't even give any credit to that guy. I can only for one reason, the news. See, at least you get the news. The problem is with all these people, and I'm not, you guys, I'm just answering your responses. I'm positivity, no bad news. The problem with all of these stations you're bringing up, except for Crypto Hawk, is all of these stations are filled with 78% of sponsors. You get 2 minutes of information, but you got to watch 75% of nonsense. At least Crypto Hawk actually gets to what he's talking about. That's the one thing you can actually say, and that's what I agree with the audience. Alex Cobb, he's not even an influencer. I don't even give him any, he's a dope. You can tell him I said that. That's the only person, besides there's one other person that I'll openly call dope if somebody brings him up. That guy costs more people money than anybody I've seen on YouTube. Period. Collectively. Because he gets 1,000 views. He's been around forever, but he gets 1,000 viewers because if I told you it was going to go up right now, if I put on my live stream, XRP is going up 600%, or is this the bounce now? XRP gains massive liquidity and he's going to go up to $600 in 2 months. This live stream would have 700-800 people in here right now. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I don't put all that nonsense in it because I want people to come in here and stay. Notice how we're steadily building, first 40, then 60, then 80, then 120, then 150, then 170. Now we're starting to push 200 more. Now we're at 240. One day we had 300. The right people are staying though. Notice how the audience is growing. We're having a bigger portion that stays. I want the right people to be here. That's all. But now we got to get back on topic. I don't care about the rest of these people. You know who I care about on YouTube? Peter Schiff, Mike Maloney, Robert Kiyosaki, Jordan Peterson, Ben Mala. These are the ones I care about. The rest I don't care about. No offense. Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, I care about. So, 5.6 is the top level up here, but 5.45. 5.45. That's why I always say my information is unbiased because it's my own. I don't rely on anybody. So yeah, that's what we're looking at here. We're basically stuck here. Is this going to be a bullish or bearish candle? It's starting out a little bullish, but now it's starting to lean back down here. So we'll see. Is this going to end up forming a gravestone doji here? Or is this already going to be too far up? We'll see. We'll see if it pushes back up here. We need some volume. Otherwise, we know the weekly resistance right now, the 20-day resistance in the, or the, not the 20-day, the 200-day resistance is this 51 cents. So we want to stay on top of 51 cents on the weekly because you don't want to break down and lose this 200-day support because we still have this golden cross intact. That is not invalidated. I've seen the question a lot in chat. Not invalidated unless the weekly candle has such a massive close that this recrosses. We have a lot of room right now. This is a beautiful fake out position. True, I've unsubbed to so many people, my head wanted to jump off. Because every time I would go on, I have all these people. I type in XRP, and I swear I can't find one person who talks just about XRP that knows a fuck about what's going on. And that's not to be mean, but that's the reality of it. And I've never seen so much flip-flopping than what I see on influencers. They always go with, oh, XRP's the next big thing. Oh, Pepe's the next big thing. Oh, this is the next big. Like, how are you going to push the next big thing if you really believe XRP is going to be this massive thing that overtakes Bitcoin? This doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So, now getting back into this. Definitely, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the conversation, but it's been 51 minutes, and we got to take advantage of the time we got left here. Mel, they certainly sound like a used car salesman. Mr. Anderson, about H-bar. We can certainly look at H-bar as you want it to keep dropping. H-bar is at 5628. The major level here is 575 first layer. And then not obviously, but back down to that 497. That was the consolidation pivot level. Right now, we're going to learn a lot if it's going to get rejected or be able to get back on top of 575. Right now, we look to be pushing down a little bit. So we'll see what happens here. If it does continue down, your next level would be to come back down here. Well, first it'd be to double bottom at 527, but you've got this very interesting level right below it. If you break back below it, you could start consolidating more here again. So this is not. And that's where we called the reversal on, remember the reversal on H-bar? That's where we called it because of the indecisiveness on the doji that showed up. Started showing up more bearish. O'Donnell Johnson, extra VOD is just entertainment. Yeah, extra VOD is entertainment. That's pure entertainment. That is honestly pure entertainment. You can't even put him on the other level of people. He tries to do charts and it was embarrassing. I couldn't even watch his entertainment anymore. Because you can't pretend to know charts. OG Donnie, what do you think about Extra VOD? He's been calling events for a while. I like his news. Just stay away from the charts. He's good with the news. You know what I like about him? He pieces things together from like Twitter and from like different news outlets, and he takes the time. That takes a lot of work. So he might not be the best chart reader, but that takes a lot of work. It really does. Tom's IQ is probably so high, that's why he's good with TA. Well, I mean, I always test. Well, I don't want to say. I never really went for an official IQ test, but whenever they would make me take them, I always was over the national average. Let's just say that. Which is why everybody was like, why didn't you take school seriously? Oh, I don't know. It's kind of hard to take conditioning seriously when you know what's happening. Andy Wu, Extra VOD tweet out. Yes, Extra VOD tweet. He's good. I like him when it comes to that. Just no Just please don't tell me technical analysis with ExtraBot. If you tell me he's good with news and Twitter and all that good stuff and piecing the news together, I do follow ExtraBot. It's just you gotta, you know, tune out that we're going to 10 million, okay? But his news is spot on. I've been told that a time or two, Miss Vicky. But, you know, what really happened was back in the Nazi days, my family, I'm second generation off the boat from Italy. My dad's first generation. My family had a fruit market, and the apartment was upstairs, or the living quarters was upstairs on top of the fruit market, or the store. Well, they came in, they used it as a command center, and then you all know the story. As it ends, they exterminated a bunch of their people. My grandpa came over here one by one with his family. He was the last one. And, you know, then they hung Mussolini by basically his own statue, which, you know, it is what it is. Well, in school, when they started telling us what happened, I'm like, excuse me, I know for a fact you're full of shit, because I've heard this story repeated a billion times in my own family circle, from the ones who came from Italy, from my own grandpa and my aunts and uncles. Some have passed on. My grandparents are long gone, those two. 2001 for my grandpa. Mussolini, yeah, their dictator. No, don't. Live, they hung the dictator. The citizens of Italy came together and they hung Mussolini. That was the dictator that allowed the Nazis to come in and do what they did, or whatever. But so when they told me I was wrong in school, I said, are you kidding me? Like, I know this story, and I told it, and they're like, that never happened. It's not in the book. And that's when I learned. I'm in like 7th grade. I'm like, is this a joke? Like, my grandpa died right before 9/11 when I was a senior. So I heard that story a lot. It's like, so that's why I couldn't take school seriously. Some of you can tell we're winding down here, but there's a lot of information at the back end of this. We'll still go over this chart, but that's the truth. And that's when my eyes were awoken for the very first time that there's something wrong here. So anyhow, you see the 1 hour volume here as well. Had a little bit of a move. It's still red, but the volume's breaking down, but it was a push up. So we really have to get back over 51 cents and hold it. We're currently still at 51 cents, but we need to stay here. Now we're a little bit below. If we break down 51 cents and we don't hold, that's the 200-day weekly support. Mind you, I preface this by, we've got until Sunday at about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to correct this. So even if we come down and we have to get more liquidity, if we break this formation, you already know we're coming to 37.5 cents, and that's the 2020 uptrend, I believe. I keep saying 2020, but if it's the 2021, we better find that out right now. Not that it really matters. March of 2020. Then the next one, if you fall below, and I might as well show everybody, this comes all the way back here. That's the 2017 uptrend. If you lose 37 cents, and that's how you go sub 20 cents. It's at about 19, what is it at currently? All right, it's at about 20 cents even basically right now, 19.9. But that's the scenario to get down there. These are the all-time patterns. I'm not making this up. These are the all-time patterns. So right now we never broke out. We stayed within this formation. That's it. Even when we broke up here, this is our third series of higher lows. I mean lower highs. And we also were putting in higher lows. But this is where the targeted breakout would be if you had to reach apex, which is 1 year from now in August of 2024. Not because that means it's going to happen. It could break out either in the down direction or up direction. But this is the formation if it stays true. If it breaks to the next level, the formation goes to there. If it breaks down, then it comes all the way down to here. Nobody thinks it can come to 2.2 until you start looking at the uptrends. If it starts breaking down 2020 and 2017, then it sure as hell can. But as of right now, you're looking at the low right now is 37.5 approximately at the 2020 uptrend from March. What is that? Did I miss a donation? Oh no, I said the donations before. Charlie, thank you for the $1.99. I did not see that. Thank you so much. Can you explain what's happening with Algo? I think I explained it to you just now too, so you got to at least hear with Algo. Maybe that's why I talked about it. OG Donnie Johnson, I only watch you for TA. I was extra right on Hawk for news, thoughts on Mr. Poole on Twitter and other Riddlers. $5 donation, thank you so much. Mr. Riddler, I mean, I don't hate. I've just seen a lot of stuff that puts up a lot of hope. So that's part of the hopium. But if you look at it just for the riddles, perfect, beautiful. Mr. Poole, riddles, yes. ATK. And everybody, ready? Everybody always asks me, are you Biden, are you Trump? I'll leave it this simple for you. I don't do politics, but here's the reason why. They're both irrelevant. Don't you notice every time something happens that's bad, there's another indictment? Just listen for a second. If you believe in the politics, whether they're red or blue, they're part of this whole thing. If they are president, if they're part of the blue or red, Democrat, Republican, they're part of the game. Central banks run the world. They run the USA at least. They don't run the whole world, but the central banks run the USA. The president, all these other left, right, that's all nonsense. Once you get it, but that's just like having emotion in crypto. You will live such a better life once you have to come to that understanding. And you'll literally be like, why are so many people still talking about this? I thought this was already debunked. So that's where I'm at. Like, I don't even understand why people talk politics anymore. I really don't. It's opium, not hopium. Interesting. Yes, indeed, Mike Honcho, you are right. They're two, let's just say they're two faces on other sides of the coin. Or they're two parties on the same side of the coin, we should say. Wings of the same bad bird. Yes, indeed, Law Docs. But that's all I'm talking politics. I don't talk politics, period, in here. We're here for crypto. If you know, you know. You sure are right about that, Jan. Craig, what do you think the price will do August 21st, 22nd when Brig makes the announcement? I don't know. I've been transparent with that. It's possible. I said if it was going to have a big pump on the 22nd, we would have to have a huge liquidity pool. Well, does this classify as a huge liquidity pool? I don't know, because we're going to have to see if it continues the liquidity. OG Donnie Johnson with $2. Wow, man, you're going over and above. That's incredibly generous tonight. I watch your news too, but I only trust your TA. Gotcha. I hear you about that. Well, yeah, the news, the news is just the news. I'm just sharing the national narrative, and I give my opinion. And then I gave in 2021 my prediction for the SC versus Ripple lawsuit. And I said third quarter of 2023 was the earliest that you could have any kind of real decision to end this fully. But it would likely go into 2024 or 2025 with a jury trial of some kind. We've got a little bit of clarity with XRP as a retail and programmatic as of right now. But we haven't got the full clarity that we need for institutions. And that's where the real money is. So if you're watching this right now, we're winding down, folks. I got to go take care of my son and make sure everything's going good. But in conclusion here, XRP, you want to stay over 51 cents. That's the 200-day in the weekly. This is the all-time pattern. If you break the formation, and especially if you start using that 51 and 49 cents as resistance, this is your swing low right now is 433. But below it is the 2020 uptrend that we would have to come down to if this doesn't hold. Unless we create a double bottom here, it would be very hard to hold this area. And then you break it down into smaller time frames. Let's say we hold the 51 cents. You're specifically coming back up to the old pattern breakdown. 51 cents. First level, 543 would be what you'd have to get past. But this is the all-time pattern. Let's go into the short-term pattern. 543 is important, not just because the 20 days there, but because that's the breakdown here of the falling wedge. So it's all lining up there. So you would need to break up. So it would really be kind of weird for us to come all the way up here and not break at some point and try to retest that breakdown. It's not impossible to break down here and lose the weekly support, but it still looks like it's set up in kind of a bull flag. It could have a fake out down to confirm 49 cents one more time, but as long as this formation structure stays intact, I still think we'd have to come up, even if we're bearish, to 544 more than likely. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I appreciate each and every one of you. You have no idea. Make sure to hit that like button if you appreciate my work. Never mind, you've all already hit that like button. But if you're watching after the live, make sure you hit that like button. 252 likes and 211 people. We've always We've never had one live that finished under 100%. I know, you know how rare that is if you watch other people that are live. It's unheard of to go plus 100% during the lives. It's unheard of. So I appreciate each and every one of you. It really speaks volumes. Thank you, everybody, for the well wishes. I can't thank you enough. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you are interested in joining the community. Other than that, I got nothing to promote because I don't promote anything. Have a good night. I'll see you in the comments. Feel free because there's no spam. Remember, who else? Just a quick question before I leave. Who else comments in the comments without spam? You know, that's one thing that separates us as well. I've had very good communications with a lot of you guys in the comments. MasterCard, I'll have to do an update on that separately. I don't know. Is there new MasterCard news? There's been so much stuff coming out today. I don't know. Exactly. That's why when people compare me to somebody, it's like, on face value, that might be fine, but I've been in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, exactly. You ever hear of a live user? You ever see, watching so-and-so? You type something and it's a WhatsApp response every single time? That's so fun. So what is this? What kind of MasterCard news? What's the MasterCard news? Assuming I could type. More cash, more headaches for marijuana retailers after MasterCard ban on cannabis. Interesting. Ripple consensus. I don't need that. Doesn't even matter. Ripple consensus participated in MasterCard program to promote CBDC innovation. I will do an update about this shortly. I'll read into this. I never like to talk about it before I read the whole thing. Let me do some debriefing here and debunking and get some information. But let's, I'll talk about this more here. Wow, a donation here again. You guys have been more than generous tonight. Sometimes I'm speechless because I would expect donations like if we're having a big pump. But during dumps, you know how rare it is to get a donation when you go down 30% a day? Even though we're not down 30%. Not now. But $20, Tom. Like, thank you so much. Like, thank you so much. Omar, Tom, thanks again for those donations. I saw it before 2 days. You also donated. Thanks. Hey, I don't speak of my donations. I don't speak of my donations. You lost the 5K future bot. Oof. You lost the 5K future bot. What does that mean? OG Donnie Johnson, thanks for the $2. You deserve it. I really appreciate that. You've had, I greatly appreciate it tonight, OG Donnie. Thank you. And Peter Pan, consistently pays it forward here. I greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. Peter Pan, the $10. Hopefully you're having a blessed night. Oh, yeah, I do. Holy crap. That was a long time ago. Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about with BITGET. I guarantee if BITGET wouldn't have made that liquidity sweep for no reason to 34 cents, there's no way you could have got, I guarantee it. Was the only reason you got liquidated down to 34 cents? Would you still be part of that position if it wouldn't have done that bullshit sweep? Everybody's complaining about it on BITGET. I'm just curious. Oh, MasterCard. Here, let's read this together real quick. Let's read this together and then I'll do an update. I'll just read it. But I'm going to have to go through this with you guys here because I'm just seeing this for the first time. So Ripple consensus participated in MasterCard program to promote CBDC innovation. And I'll do an update on this as well. Yeah, it said it dropped to 34 cents on there. 31.73. Did it really, driver? It went down to 31.7 cents on BITGET. That's criminal. That's criminal. It didn't even come close to that. Didn't even come close to that. Literally came down to 43 cents. Should have been the lowest you should have seen. But that's why futures is dangerous, because they always have bigger dumps. So the payment processor has enlisted a range of market players in the quest for innovation and efficiencies in a technology that 93% of central banks are investigating. Wow. So, oh my, see, that's ridiculous. Because, Miss Vicky, that's why I always tell people I would stay as far away from BITGET as possible. I don't like it. I've seen this so many times with BITGET. There's a reason why all of the big time are promoting it. They're all colluding, I guarantee it. There's no other reason. Like, how could anybody honestly promote it? It doesn't make any sense, especially in the USA. Lost all your oh my God. See, that's why I hate leverage trading. That's why I always say, oh, man, that's rough. Let these be lessons, everybody. Don't let this be done in vain. Don't let this stuff happen for no reason. There's a reason why the light's being shed here. Yeah, well, Uphold is, in my opinion, as far as like when it goes to an exchange, because they're more of a brokerage, because they deal with delivery of precious metals, so you have to have special consideration to do that within multiple states and countries. So I consider them more like a brokerage. But we never know 100% anywhere. There's no guarantee anywhere. I've heard it all. I just go with who I think is the best. They stuck around for me since the beginning. You know, and that's just how it goes. So I'm going to play
Ripple,
so that we can hear this.
participated MasterCard program to promote CBDC innovation. MasterCard is forming a partnership.
And I'll see you guys after this. My voice is just dead here. Crypto Solo Scrooge. Make sure you go watch Crypto Solo Scrooge. If you're on YouTube, he covers Sologenic a lot, Corium, and also the XRP connection with all of it, and the ledger, and yada, yada, yada.
Partnership program with 7 prominent blockchain and payment technology.
If you're a fan of Sologenic, that is.
Providers to bring a greater understanding of the benefits and limitations of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, it announced August 17th. MasterCard did not share specific plans for the group, but it mentioned many current buzzwords in CBDC sphere: security, privacy, interoperability and private sector, for example, and driving innovation and efficiencies. MasterCard head of digital assets and blockchain Raj Damodaran said in the statement, "As we look ahead toward a digitally driven future, it will be essential that the value held as a CBDC is as easy to use as other forms of money."
Yeah, Driver, the worst I seen with liquidity as far as futures, I believe I seen 401 was the lowest that I seen. I didn't see any crack the 40-cent mark. I don't look at Bybit, but none that I had on mine, even futures charts, none of them cracked it, to my knowledge. Not even the USDT ones.
The MasterCard program will bring together companies that have already contributed to CBDC development in various ways. It will include Ripple, which recently introduced a dedicated CBDC platform, software company Consensus, which has worked on several CBDC projects, and tokenized assets solution provider Fluency, which is involved in 23 CBDC projects. Related, MasterCard AI-powered tool to help banks fight fraud. Participant GISIC Plus Devriend has its own CBDC solution and has worked with the central banks of Ghana and Thailand on CBDC projects. IDEMIA specializes in offline payments and has participated in a CBDC project with a Japanese payment service. Consult Hyperion also works with central banks on offline payment solutions. The group is rounded out by institutional custody platform Fireblocks. Countries where MasterCard is exploring CBDCs. Source: MasterCard. MasterCard has been active in the crypto space for years, but has pulled back from it recently. The company has shown strong support for CBDC and participated in projects with the Bank for International Settlements and the New York Federal Reserve Bank, as well as with individual central banks. MasterCard announces today the inaugural set of partners CBDC platform at Ripple, blockchain and Web3 software company at Consensus, multi-CBDC and tokenized assets solution provider at Fluency, digital identity technology provider at IDEMIA Group, digital identity consultant. pic.twitter.com.
Okay, so that's that, everybody. I appreciate everybody who stopped. Wow, 150 people, even though you know I'm leaving. I can't even believe it. This has just been an epic live. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed evening. I'll do this in my own voice here coming up in a little bit. And yeah, thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate the generosity. I appreciate everybody taking the time to try to learn. And we're all in this together. Remember, if we're on the same positive mindset, we don't allow emotion to dictate things. We don't play the victim. We are the winners. We're not just playing the winners. We are the winners by our winning decisions. That also comes with how we treat each other. So make sure you keep that mindset, and we'll do better tomorrow.